What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Monster Hunter video. In today's video, I want to talk about the two weapons that I want to start with in Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, first and foremost, my favorite weapon in the game is the switch axe. I've been using it since Monster Hunter Tri, since it came out, and I just absolutely love the weapon. And with every game that's come out, the switch axe has gotten better. It's just more fun. It's faster. I don't know, I just love the weapon. Next, my second weapon that I have in mind is the charge blade that I'm using here in Monster Hunter Rise. It's a weapon that I just picked up recently. So I've played it in the big three games of right now, which are going to be Monster Hunter GU, Monster Hunter World, and then of course Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. And I've been having an absolute blast with the weapon. It's just been very, very fun, and I've been loving every single aspect of it. I love the power of it. I just love the whole dynamic of the weapon. Now, with that being said, I do have a third weapon too that I absolutely love, and that's going to be the bow. The bow is very fast. It deals a ton of damage, and it increases the range of the fight. You know, you can fight up close, you can fight far back. Whatever you want to do with it, it works. So I'm torn between these three weapons. Now, the main weapon that I know for sure that I will be using will be the switch axe. Now the other two, that's where I get confused on the route that I want to take. Now when we look at our skills that we can have on the weapons, so if we talk about like similarities, the switch axe and the charge blade are going to be very close in just the skill set that they use. Now, these are the skills that are in Monster Hunter Rise. Obviously, they're different from Monster Hunter World, and they're different in Monster Hunter GU, but some things remain consistent, okay? And some of these are quite obvious, like attack, crit eye, crit boost, Woojit's exploit. These are the things that are just like, you know, they just make sense to have. But now there are some deeper ones that the switch axe and the charge blade just kind of tie together. We look at something like handicraft, right? This is always a good one to have. We look at something like razor sharp. I guess I should explain what some of these are. Now, handicraft, this will extend the color of your sharpness on your weapon. And we know while using the switch axe, it's very easy to lose sharpness. Let's say you're using your whatever the zero-sum discharge. You use that, and that's going to decrease your sharpness a lot. With the charge blade, you use your AED or your SAED, and that also is going to decrease things quite rapidly. But this is a good skill to have. Razor sharp, this is I think you have like a time window, and if you hit the monster, it can like not use some of your sharpness, and that goes exactly with what I said about having handicrafts. We look at something like focus. Focus is a good skill because this is also goes good with both weapons. Focus, it makes your gauge recharge faster. So for the switch axe, you're gonna get your sword mode whenever you get your little I forgot what it's called, but you get your little explosions or whatever. Like you have a gauge that you can fill up on your sword mode, and when you hit the monster, you get a separate explosion. So that works very well with that. And then for the charge blade, when you're using focus, it works very well because you can get your files filled up faster. Now we have something that's power prolonger. So this works very well when your sword gauge is full. It will last longer. And same thing with your files. When your files on your charge blade are full, they will also last longer. Now there's other skills like guard up, offensive guard. These are something that's going to be good for the charge blade. not necessarily the switch axe, but with the counter or perfect guard, whatever they put on there for the switch axe in wilds, offensive guard could work for it. I just don't know if it does. Slugger, with Slugger you have a you can stun the monster a lot faster. This is something that works well with both the charge blade and the switch axe, just depending on what kind of switch axe you're using. Artillery, load shells, these are something that will work very well with the charge blade, not so much the switch axe. Artillery just gives you more files, load shells makes you do more damage. Or wait, no, I said that backwards. Artillery is more damage, load shells gives you more files. What else do we have here? We have your Vades. These are just good for like every single weapon in the game. None of those are special. We're not gonna go into things like Hellfire Cloak because someone like Magna Malo may not be in the game, so it just doesn't make sense to talk about that. But with Rapid Morph, so the Rise variation of what Rapid Morph does is whenever you're switching modes, like let's say switch axe, you're going from the axe to the sword, or the charge blade, you're going from the sword and shield to the axe, it happens a lot faster, 30% faster if you have Rapid Morph on level 3. And you get, I don't know the exact number, but you get a, I think it's 30%. You get more damage, you get 30% more damage on the morphed attacks. So like if you're on your switch axe and you're going from axe to sword, but you're hitting in that attack, you're gonna get more damage from it. So that's just another skill that would go very well with both of them. Again, some of these I just don't know if they're gonna be in the next game, so they're just not something I want to go over. And I say all of that to say we do know that the Sacred, which is the new mount that you get in the game, we know that is how you change your weapon, right? Like you can't just change it on the fly while you're fighting. Like you can't combo your moves. It'd be really cool, right? Let's say you can do a zero-sum discharge and then you switch over and then you do a SAED with the charge blade. Yeah, that would be really cool, but it would be insanely broken. And it makes sense that you will have to go to your Sacred to change your weapons, right? So I said that in order to say, whenever you go to your Sacred, this is something that I don't know. It could already be shown. I just haven't been watching a lot of trailers and stuff like with people playing. I just don't want to spoil the game for myself. But when you go to your Sacred and you go to change out your weapon, my biggest question there is, when you do that, do you also change like your loadout? Like, you know, let's say you go to your box here and then you change your equipment, right? We have the switch axe here and then we go to the charge blade here, right? And obviously they're going to be different builds. I have different stuff on them. Like I have different skills on both of them, right? And like I said, some of them kind of tie together, but does it look like this when you're switching your weapon? Like we'll start with you go to the switch axe and then now you can use it off of your Sacred like that. But again, do you switch everything like this exact way? Like do you literally go in and change your entire loadout? Or do you just go in and just change your weapon like it is, but you keep it the same skills? That I don't know, you know? And that is going to be a big determining factor of the weapon that I use. Now, if you keep the same skills, I think I'll go with switch axe charge blade. But if you don't, and you kind of switch it, like you go to your equipment and then you literally pick the different weapon that has a different equipment loadout, if that's the case, I may use something like the bow, because that would just make the biggest difference in a hunt. Because if I'm using the switch axe and I realize that, oh, this monster would be a lot easier to fight with the bow, I would switch to it, all my skills would switch, and then I can just destroy the monster. But if the loadout doesn't change, like your skills don't change from the clothes that you're wearing, and you solely change your weapon, and that's it, just your weapon, I may just go with the charge blade, because like I said, they both have a similar skill set and it just makes sense, right? But that's it, guys. That's my dilemma. That's what I'm trying to decide, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. But as of right now, the winning battle in my head is going to be switch axe and charge blade for now. I change my mind every single day on which one I want to do, but for the current moment right now, that is what I want to do until I know more about the equipment changes and the different loadouts. That's just, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Obviously, the more that I play, the more I'll change my weapons, because I love every single weapon in the game. It's just the charge blade, switch axe, and the bow are just my 3 favorite weapons in the game right now. But guys, you guys let me know what you plan on using. What 2 weapons excite you the most, and what 2 weapons you just want to start the game with. And who knows, that maybe you don't even start the game with 2. Maybe you start with 1 and then you gain 2 over time. Whatever the case may be. But you guys let me know what most interests you. And I want to say thank you guys for watching the video. If you're new, make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up. And if you are liking the Monster Hunter content, make sure you guys sub. I appreciate it a bunch. And with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one.